Hello and welcome to Healthy Knitting. This is Rosie. It is November 7th, 2013, and I have a few minutes to record, not as much as I'd like to. Once again, I was planning on recording over the weekend and that really didn't work out. I had a lot of fun with my friends this weekend instead. I went for two hikes. One was really long and a lot longer than I expected. It kind of wore me out a little bit. And the next one, we woke up very early in the morning before light to catch the eclipse, but we didn't see it. In the Northeast, it was very cloudy here in New York, so we really didn't see it, but it was spectacular anyway. We climbed to the top of Mount Beacon, and it was really warm on the way up. It was and I expected Sunday to be very, very cold, but it was warm. It was dark. We had our flashlights, and then we were able to shut them off and kind of let our eyes adjust to the light and walk up to the top of the mountain. By the time we got there, I was freezing cold. I'm glad I had bundled up. I was prepared for once. And it was really beautiful. I'd walked up Mount Beacon many times, but I never found the water tower or the tower. Once you're up there, you can see a 360 all the way around. You can see New York City, you can see the Catskills. Unbelievably beautiful view up there. And it was freezing cold though with the wind. Like it felt like a wind tunnel was coming up the stairs. But it was really beautiful. I'm glad that we were done. We were finished the hike by 7 o'clock in the morning, which was great, but I was really pooped out because the day before we went for a very long hike over at Minnewaska State Park. And I normally hike at Mohonk. I have a membership over there, and so does one of my friends, and so I normally hike that area. So just south of there is Minnewaska State Park. And I wish I had known how beautiful that place was, because I would have been hiking a lot more over there. So I'm glad I'm still here. I'm still here for probably till March. I will be headed back to Italy probably in January to take care of that business. I thought maybe December would be good, but thinking about it now, it's just going to be too rushed before the holidays to try to get someone to come in and do work for me to put the kitchen in. So probably March I'll be moving in, but January I'll go and put that stuff together. So yeah, a lot of figuring out to do. It's pretty crazy. What else was I going to say? Oh, so hiking. So I was planning on doing a podcast over the weekend, and I kind of got distracted. There's a few distractions, but I'll tell you about one of them in a minute. So that's what's new and good. I've been doing a lot of hiking, visiting with my friends. We went out to the Hop again and had a good time, and I'm really enjoying myself. I'm visiting with family this upcoming Saturday, which is really nice. I hadn't seen some of them in years, but because of my mom's passing, it kind of brings people together again, right? So some bad and good, good and bad, whatever. So anyway, what's on and off the needles, I forgot to show you last week. I have to bend down and get them. I worked on the felted clogs, and gosh, I know this lady's name off the top of my head. She has passed away, but you can still get them from Vibratrends. And this is shepherd's wool. I was planning on making something else with this project, but then I realized that it wasn't superwash. I was going to make a charity project out of this yarn, and turned out it was not superwash, so that it would felt. And I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with this yarn? It's kind of a weird color. Two weird colors. So I was going to, you know what I was going to make with these? Couldn't remember what it was. Oh my gosh. You know the little bears for charity? It'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, I did make a bear, but I wound up making it out of cotton. When I got this, I realized, oh no, you can't put this in the wash, and it's going to shrink, and that's not going to work. And so here I have a pair of clogs. I still have yarn left. I think what I'm going to do is use my own hand spun that I was planning on before. I said that, you can't see it, it's buried in the corner. It's buried in the corner. But it's big yarn, and it's wool, and I think I'm going to use the tops for that, and I think I have enough of the brown to make the bottoms. If not, I'll make a layer of purple on the inside and then a layer of brown, so the brown is on the outside and that blue. And I'll make another pair. I absolutely love these, and they've really only gone through the wash once. They still need another time. They went through one time. The reason why I actually went to the laundromat was specifically to felt these. And I put the setting on cold like I always do. And right after I hit start, I was like, oh no, they're not going to felt. Sure enough, they were still huge. So I just did the laundry a few days ago again. And so they did get to a normaler size, but I don't normally do my laundry on hot. So I had to make sure that I had things that could go in hot. So I'm not sure when these are going to get back in again. So, but they do work and they're nice and lovely. I have wood floors here in my home, but it is a little bit chilly. So having these on is amazingly warm and toasty. So I do love my new slippers. Need to keep them off the floor because of Buddy, which is the reason why I don't have my old ones. Or my little, I made those cute little, like ballerina flats. They were adorable. And Buddy apparently didn't like that I left them on the floor one day. And I had to go. You remember Buddy, the little orange kitty? He's so cute. Come here, bud. He probably won't come up here because Catalora is sitting on the chair with me right now. And although they do sit on the chair together, he won't. I think she jumps up there after he's on there or something. So anyway, let me show you the project I didn't even tell you I was planning on making. I just said, oh, I bought yarn for something, blah, blah, blah. I don't think I even told you. Anyway, I finished it, which is why I didn't record on the weekend, because I was very busy making this sweater. I'm going to show you what the one in the magazine looks like. It is from Noro Now, and the designer is Jenny Watson. Can you see that? I just bought this the other day because I'm planning on, you'll see what's I'm talking about in a second, but hang on. Here is what it's supposed to look like. This one here. I think mine might be a little bit bigger. Well, actually, the collar feels like it's a little bit bigger, but maybe she just has hers up a little bit higher or something. Maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway, I wound up making this small, and you can see on hers, she is wearing one that's a little bit bigger because see how her arms, hold on, this way, the hole is a little bit bigger. My hole is not that big. I did not block this, by the way, yet, so maybe it is a little bit. It's kind of a square, so it's a little bit of a drop shoulder, which I'm not fond of, so I didn't want to make something that was huge. For my bust size, they wanted you to make something that had like 7 inches of positive ease. My back is not that big, so I would look like I was being swallowed up by a garment if I made something that big, so I decided not to. And so let me stand up and show you what it looks like. I'm just trying to put something down without leaving it on the floor. Okay, I think I need to tip this up. So here is the garment. I'll turn around and show you the back. And this is made with the yarn called for in the project. Oops, I'm sitting on catnip right now. So my butt's going to be full of catnip. You may have seen catnip on the back of the sweater. If you did see little green things, it's catnip. I put some on the chair, and now I'm sharing the chair with the cats. Anyway, the yarn is, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Nadeskshiko. Nadeshiko, something like that. But this yarn is absolutely amazing. Of course, I don't have the label. Of course not. It has Angora in it. I think Angora is the first ingredient with the most, and then I think it's wool and maybe silk on top of that. Super warm. I don't mind that this is not long sleeves. I have a pair of, and this actually, I'm going out, this is what I'm wearing tonight. I have somewhere to go before knitting, and I should be fine. It's kind of chilly out, it's just rainy and drizzly, but I have wristers that I can wear that'll come to here, and so really the only part that'll be exposed is a band this much. But it's kind of nice in the fall. I wouldn't really want to wear this in the winter, but it's pretty cozy, and to wear it around the house is great too, because I don't mind long sleeves as long as I can push them up. And I think what I'm going to do one day is show you some sweaters that I have made and why I like them and the yarn and things like that, just so I can have a few more knitting things to talk to you about. I am not as productive as some people. I don't know how they get as much done as they do, and I pretty much work on one project at a time. Oh, shoot. I started my socks. I'm not even through the ribbing, so I'm not even going to bother. They're at the front door in my knitting bag, in my purse. I just carry them with me, and I had 2 of the laundromat, so that's where I was knitting the socks. So it's the same socks as always. They're just, I'm trying to keep them in my bag all the time so that I have something to knit on in case I run out the door and go, oh, I don't have anything. So that's the other thing that's on the needles. So that's it, really. This is off. This was done this week. I started this at knitting, and I made it with size 10 needles, 10s and 8s. And it has a little bit of a cable detail on the bottom. You really can't see it that much. Just a little bit. And you attach these. You do this piece. Oh, gosh. You do the side, which is what I like. You do pieces. So you do the front 2 pieces, you do the back. You put the back together, and then you put on a band of ribbing. No big deal. Then you make this piece here that comes all the way up the side. You make one here that comes all the way up the side. And then what you do is I shouldn't really tell you, but you kind of like knit across and you add things and blah, 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 and you seam it together. Anyway, I put this side on the other way, and I didn't realize it until after the collar was finished and I was ready to sew up the sides. And I'm glad that I noticed that the side was reversed and didn't start on the other side where it wasn't reversed, because I would have had to pick all of that out too. I had to undo the collar, flip that around, re-knit the collar. Granted, it's not that much knitting from here to here, but still, you know, you think you're done with something and then you're not done. You're like, oh, I could wear this. Totally not. So anyway, and it isn't blocked yet, but I am going to wear it tonight because it's kind of fuzzy and you can't really see anyway, and it's warm, and I want to show I bought it at the yarn at Claywood and Cotton, and I told her I would show it to her this Thursday when I got here. So that is what I'm planning on doing. Oh, see, I just did that again. Sorry. What else do I want to show you? Okay, tonight at knitting, I am going to make the marshmallow fluff pattern by Sarah. And now I can't really see that. Crowley? It's a free pattern, and you can find this on Ravelry. It calls for super chunky, and I am using another yarn that I got at the Claywood and Cotton when I was there buying the yarn. It's Malabrigo Rasta in the Azules colorway. I was in a very blue mood that day, and so this is the yarn. Isn't it beautiful? Gosh, I really need a haircut. This yarn is absolutely gorgeous. And I don't believe that I had seen this yarn in person yet. And wow, it's so soft. So this is a cowl, but I'm actually not going to connect it. You start provisionally and then you do your thing and then you graft it together. But I'm not going to do that because I already have a kind of cowl that I made, which is flat, and then you fold it over, kind of like this. Okay, so it's like this, and then you just put like a little pin or button here. And I do like that better for things that are super, super bulky like that, because I can put it under my jacket and it's not going to get all weird, and I don't know. For me, I thought that would work out better. So this is going to be done tonight. I actually did have size 19 needles. I might not use them. I might use a 17. I have 17s too. I even have 35s. I was just looking through my thing. I was like, oh my gosh. I think there might even be a 50 in there. I don't know what I bought them for. I don't even remember. But it was a long time ago. Long time ago. So I'm going to cut myself some slack for not remembering, like 20-something years ago, why I bought size 15 needles. So that I need to put back in here, because watch, I'll get all the way to knitting and I won't have it with me. And that would be sad. I still have my socks though. So that is all that is on off the needles. I might start, well, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to finish that project tonight at knitting, unless I make some really goofy gaff and then I have to rip it all out, but that should be it. The next thing that well, there's a couple things that I want to make. I was torturing myself last night trying to figure out, what do I want to make first and what do I want to make next. That I bought, while I was buying yarn for this, I bought yarn for something else at the store. I bought yarn to make this coat. It was all on sale. Otherwise, it would be incomprehensibly expensive to make this coat. So it calls for 2 different kinds of yarns. One is Odori. Oops. It's over there. Hang on one second. I'm just going to flash you the cover of this book because I'm stepping up and I'm going right over it, and otherwise you're just going to see like a lot of me. So here is that. Where is the yarn? Okay, here it is. Almost thought I lost something in the cat food. So this project calls for Noro Odori. You see that? And my grippy fingernails. In colorway, I think this is shade 1. I'm not even sure. Yes. And also Wadeko in shade number 1. So I have not swatched for this. And I'm also trying not to, I don't want another drop shoulder garment. I need to figure out what to do different to not have a drop shoulder. See how it's drop shouldered? Not a big fan. It makes me just look like I'm swallowed up by something. And so I found a couple other patterns on Ravelry that I just, same style, not same style yarn, but same weight of yarn, and then see if I can translate changing the front panels, and maybe that'll work out. Because I love the coat, I just not a big fan of that. So that might take me a little while to figure out. So I'm not sure. There's another couple of projects that I've been thinking about. One's a DK weight sweater, and another one is a bulky sweater. So we'll see which one wins out. Something's going to win out. I just haven't quite figured it all out yet. But as you've probably seen by now, I say I'm going to make one thing and I don't even do it. I do something totally different. That other sweater I told you I was going to make and I swatched for, not on the needles. Not even close. Kind of thought about it and decided, nah, that's kind of not really what I feel like knitting right now. I'm a mood knitter. Okay, so spinning. I did not spin. I washed a fleece though, which was quite dangerous because I washed my friend's fleece that she bought at New York Sheep and Wool, and oh my gosh, unbelievable. I actually was very glad the card was in there, and I emailed them. I'm like, hey, do you guys have any more of those fleeces? They sure do. So I'm going there in a couple of weeks. I've already forgotten their name. Darn. I can probably put that in the show notes. But their fleece was absolutely gorgeous, Icelandic, which was so soft. Even the long guard hairs were unbelievably soft. Like the whole thing was amazing. Fluff. Really, I fell in love. I was like, I have to give this fleece back. I need to get one for myself. So they're about an hour and a half from me north. So I'm going to try to figure out if I can go hiking that day. There's probably somewhere up there that I can just go pop over to Catskills and go for a little hike after I go up there. I might even drag some of my spinning friends to go with me. They might want some fleeces. So we'll see what happens. But I thought what I would do, and I didn't do any more dyeing either. Everything just sat. This has been a week where I haven't really gotten as much done as I wanted to. I did wash that fleece, but it's not really a big deal. It's a tiny little fleece. Icelandic sheep are like, you can fit them in your pocket. They're so cute. But it took 3 times. I take a shower and then I put the yarn in, like those mesh bags with the zipper, and I throw it in there and I fill the tub with warm water and kookaburra, and did I tell you this? I probably told you this. And then I just squish it in there, let it sit for a little while, drain the water off, squish it out, do it again 2 or 3 times depending on how dirty the fleece is. And by the way, this fleece was not dirty. Smelled very much like barn, but not dirty, hardly at all. It was amazing. This fleece that I'm going to show you now is the one that I washed. This is my little Shetland that I washed, and I think it's super incredibly soft. Oops, there's a little we don't want those. It's the second cut. But this yarn is incredibly soft, and again, it was not very dirty at all. It's just basically washing out the lanolin, and I haven't processed it yet. This is the whole fleece right here. It's a very tiny little fleece. Shetlands are also tiny little animals, but I haven't decided how I want to work with that yet. So that's there. So much to do, but gosh, this week has been really, really, really busy. What else do I want to talk to you about? Spinning, looking at my notes. Okay, so anyway, I didn't have a chance to do that thing for you yet. So we're only 20 minutes. This is good because I can probably get this uploaded before I have to run out the door. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, because I had to go pick up some makeup yesterday. I didn't have to, I wanted to. My mascara needed replacing, and so I needed more of the foundation that I use. And so I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, well, why don't I talk to you a little bit about chemicals? And I kind of glossed over it a little bit once before about how we absorb things through our skin. We also, makeup goes on your skin, so you're absorbing an awful lot when you are putting makeup on your skin. I have two criterium for makeup. Number one, it's cruelty-free. That's really important to me because I don't really want animals to suffer for me to look better. And I have these criterion for a lot of things, like yarn. I don't buy acrylic yarn for me personally because I don't want to be using any more petroleum products. I do have some. I'm not saying that I don't, because there was a time when okay, how does I'm gonna really screw this up here. Before I noticed all these things, I had bought yarn that had things in it that I don't purchase anymore. I also have purchased yarn which is a yarn that I want to actually use in one of the projects coming up. Let me just grab it because I felt compelled to buy this yarn, even though it had an ingredient, a material that I wasn't happy with. And I do use nylon in my socks. I don't think nylon's is nylon a petroleum product? I'm not totally, I know acrylic is, so let's just talk about acrylic. So this is Moreland from Classic Elite Yarns, and it's 42% fine merino, 23% baby alpaca, 19% mohair, and 16% acrylic. This is mohair. It's a DK weight yarn. It's got decent yardage, like 147 yards. Oh, that's another thing I want to talk about. 147 yards. Now, I did not buy this at full price. I did buy it at Webs, yarn.com, when it wasn't on sale because it was discontinued. And I was like, okay, well, it's discontinued. So if it's discontinued, this is my rationalization, I'm not really contributing to the demand of this product because it's already a discontinued yarn. Does that make any sense? I don't know. That's the only reason how I talked myself into buying this yarn. And this is one of the yarns I want to use for that other sweater. It's very classic looking. It's very, it's just a nice yarn. It has a little bit of depth of color in there, so it's not boring and bland. And I thought, well, I'll just do it this once. Just this once. Because normally I don't buy things that I can't justify. I'm weird like that. And it's okay. Everybody has their little weirdnesses, right? We all do. So my weirdness about makeup is, I want it to be cruelty-free. The next thing is I also don't want it to be harmful to me. So I try to buy things that are organic, don't have crazy ingredients, and I don't wear a lot, really. I wear lipstick a lot. I never used to wear lipstick. All of a sudden now I'm like, oh, look at the lipstick. And a foundation, eye pencil, and mascara, and that's pretty much it. I do have eyeshadow. I don't wear it all the time. If I wear that, it's like, oh, you're getting dressy now. So I wanted to show you an app that you can get on your phone. It's an app on your phone, but this is the symbol you can look for. It's called the Leaping Bunny Program. Oh, please tell me it's going to come out. Hang on. Get in front of the camera. You can't read the writing, but that's what the little bunny looks like. And I would have brought it in off the packaging, but it's in my car and it was raining and I didn't feel like taking off my shoes and putting them back on and running in and out. Anyway, so you can look for this on your products, or in the app I think will tell you like what products are cruelty free to keep you in check, so when you're buying stuff you don't have to keep looking things up. And this company, Physicians Formula, is not a complete 100% with their other products that are cruelty-free. They have a line of organic wear, and this is the organic mascara that I use. And this is cruelty-free. But I think the reason why they don't have the symbol is because the whole company is not cruelty-free. I've been searching for mascaras. It's been very difficult to find my criterion in things. But I figured, okay, this is the right step if I'm supporting them in being cruelty-free with their organic line. Is that helpful? I don't know. It's so complicated sometimes. Sometimes I could freeze. It's so complicated. It's like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. And, you know, it's like, okay, what is the best possible situation that I can do? So I'm going with that. The other thing I want to talk about, I know a lot of people like to wear nail polish. I don't. You can see my nails. They're pretty messy. They grow and then they fall, they break, and then I cut them, and then I don't really take as nice care of my nails as some people do. But I wanted to show you some alternatives to nail polish, because nail polish can be very toxic, and I don't think people realize it. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to try not to sneeze. How do you want to cut it out? Let me tell you, new iMovie thing is a little interesting. Like, I'm surprised I got the podcast out last week. I wanted to cry a little bit because I was just like in such a hurry and I couldn't figure it out. Anyway, I'm just going to move the camera so that I can read. One thing they did do is they made it so you can small the screen so I can actually have something up at the same time. So I did buy this nail polish on a whim, and it's called, No Miss, N-O and then M-I-S-S is the company. Nail polish, and it does not contain any formaldehyde, toluene, dibutyl phthalate, or camphor. So there is formaldehyde in nail polish, which is one of the reasons why I never liked it growing up, because whenever I put it on, and then I even got my nail this close to my face, it stunk so bad I couldn't handle it. I mean, like, it really just smelled to me. I didn't want my fingers anywhere near my face. A very sensitive nose. I have sensitive nose, sensitive eyes, sensitive skin, hypersensitive, I guess. Anyway, I tried this. It doesn't really stay on that great, but I think the cost of not having anything bad on my skin, if I so chose to put nail polish on, is probably better alternative than putting on something that can make me potentially very sick. So, granted, I don't wear it very often, but I have the option in a bottle if I want to. This is the only nail polish I own. One bottle. And you might say, well, you know, it's pretty hard to get nail polish off if you are into all this stuff. Well, I found one called Eco Easy Nail Polish Remover. A little sideways there. And this is a what is it, acetate? Acetone? Acetone that's in nail polish? There's no acetone in this. So there's no odor, and it really doesn't have an odor. It's vegan, it's biodegradable, no synthetic or petrochemicals, farmer-grown ingredients, and it does work. You have to just put it on there and let it sit for a minute or two and then take it off. Feels a little greasy sometimes, but that's way better than acetone. So just another alternative for you people out there who like to wear nail polish and are looking for an alternative to chemicals. They are available. Everything may not work like you're used to, but it still can do the job. And that's the thing. I think most nail polishes can last a little bit longer than this does, and there are other brands out there that don't have formaldehyde. This was just one that I bought because I'm not, like I said, I'm not really big into it. But if you are, this would be some great research, and anybody who is into this, if you want, why don't you post some of your alternatives in the board? That would be great, so other people can have an idea of what worked for you and what didn't work. And there are all sorts of apps out there that you can put on your phone or your iPad to look up alternatives for things. So I think the more we contribute to purchasing from people, if we're going to buy it anyway, that's the thing. Like, if you're going to buy it anyway, why not find an alternative source that's good for you and good for the environment and good for animals around you? Because, you know, they don't need to suffer, do they? Just a thought. That's my healthy tip for your body. I did have something else I wanted to talk about, and then I wake up with these thoughts and I go, oh yeah, I'll talk about that in the podcast, and then I don't write it down, and then I don't have it. So I'm just looking. There are a couple of things I want to talk about, but I don't think I have time for it today. So I am going to close here, and thank you very much for stopping by. And if I can get that recipe up this weekend with the thing I was telling you about, I can probably do it. But I don't know if Saturday, my whole Saturday is completely tied up from the minute I wake up until the minute I go to bed. And Sunday I have someone coming over, so I don't think that's going to work either. We'll see. Life for me is always one of those, and it shouldn't be this way, but it's kind of like something's happening and then it changes and then something else is going to go on, and I never, like, things just shift so much. I have to just bend like a willow tree constantly. So that's what's going on. Stay healthy, guys. I will talk to you later. Thank you. Ciao.